Back when we were setting up the restrictions and the parental controls on the iPhone, I mentioned the ability to turn off in-app purchases. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that more specifically now. And again, just to be clear here, at age 8, 9, 10, even 14, the ability or the expectation that these children are going to have an appropriate level of impulse control, not just to click, get, or buy, is very difficult. It is age appropriate to have weak impulse control. That is part of how the brain is developing, and we're not used to being able to just click a few things and have money go onto your parents' credit card. So what I'm going to show you how to do now is how to turn that on in order to make the purchase and then be able to turn it back off. So just to give you a sense of what we're talking about, different games like Clash of Clans, in order to get this sort of chest of goodies, basically you have the ability to purchase a chest with all these gems and whatever for, let's say, $4.99, $5. And again, you didn't pay for the game. The game was free, so you might say, okay, $5, no big deal. Sure, child, you can get that. But if it's $5 every couple of days, that is going to add up quickly. And I've heard the horror stories in my office. So that's how it kind of looks when you click get. It gives you this warning: do you want to buy it? And for your average 9-year-old is barely going to read that and just kind of click buy, and then it goes to your credit card. Other games over the years like Candy Crush, Madden Mobile is another very popular one where they call it Madden Cash, where you have to buy certain points or coins, and then you can upgrade your players and get the more elite players, which helps you play the game. So obviously there's a real pull there. And then Pokemon Go, just another example where there's a lot of in-app purchases to enhance your play. Um, the funny thing about Clash of Clans in particular, because that's very popular in my house right now, is the marketing is really fascinating. Where they'll have like a countdown where it's like a limited time sale. It's almost like, if you remember, like Crazy Eddie. Prices are insane. They really pull the kids in. That if they don't buy it now, they're going to miss out, and they really poke at that need to get it right now. Just to refresh, if you go to the home screen, go to settings. So you click on settings and it pops and it opens up into settings. You have to scroll down. Again, this is on your child's device. So either on the iPad or on the iPod Touch, you're going to scroll down to where it says General. Okay, this should sound familiar. We just went through all this. Then you scroll down again to restrictions, and it should be on because you've already set this up with your child's phone or iPod. So you go into restrictions, you put in your 4-digit code, and then if you scroll down again, you're going to have to, you could see there in-app purchases, and it should be off because the way we set it up earlier, you toggled that off, you flipped that switch, so in-app purchases was turned off. So now, in order to make the purchase, after he's talked to you, your child came to you and said, this is what it is, it's a one-time purchase, he gives you his allowance money perhaps, here's my $5, I really want to buy this chest or Madden Cash or whatever it is, and you talk about it and you say sure, because why not? The game was free and it's not like he's done this every week, so sure, he can buy that in-app purchase. So you then have to go to that part and you then toggle it on. So then now in-app purchases is allowed. So then you go back to the home screen and you make the purchase. In the game itself, your child will probably do it. You'll give the phone or iPod back to him or her. They go in, they make the purchase, and then they hand the phone back over to you. This is very, very important. Go back to settings, go back to general, go back to restrictions, and you toggle it off. Okay, you have to toggle it back off in order to disable future purchases without your permission. Because if you leave it just the way it was, what's going to happen is then the next couple of days when that ad pops up again and they say, okay, limited time, and if you haven't gone this extra step to turn it back off, the likelihood of them clicking buy is very high, and that sort of defeats the whole purpose. So Make sure you allow them to get the purchase if you agree, but then turn it back off. And one last note, this is a great way to teach your children to pause and to think about what they're doing. In order to get this purchase, they have to think about what they want. They have to come to you, they have to talk to you, they have to in some way persuade you to allow it, which again is all, in my opinion, healthy and good for them to think through what they want instead of I have this feeling and I'm just going to click buy and I'll deal with the consequences later if mom or dad yells at me for buying something without permission. Just like if I were in a store and I have $5 in my pocket, typically most 9-year-olds are going to ask their parent, can I get this thing with my allowance money? They're not just throwing it on their parent's credit card. So it actually is a great way to practice impulse control.